Bonjour, bienvenue dans ce nouvel épisode d'Extrait Audio. Avez-vous déjà envie d'apprendre l'anglais de manière très détendue avec un prof qui a en plus une touche d'humour dans ses cours? Ce livre en est parfaitement l'illustration. Perfectionnez votre culture linguistique de la langue de Shakespeare avec un humoriste très connu en France grâce à sa série télévisée, What the Fuck France. Un cours ciblé pour permettre d'éviter les erreurs typiques des Français. Plus de 10 épisodes avec à chaque fois des thèmes en vogue. N'oubliez pas, l'audiobook est offert juste en suivant les étapes dans le tuto dans la suite de la vidéo. Comme d'habitude, écoutons d'abord un petit extrait.
One, two, three, four.
Hi, my name's Paul Taylor, je suis anglais mais je vis en France depuis 11 ans et tous les jours les Français me disent « Paul, apprends-nous l'anglais !» Ouais, sauf que si vous avez écouté les 2 premières saisons de ce programme, vous savez déjà que je suis nul en anglais. Donc, comme la saison 1 et 2, j'ai ma pote Sarah Donnelly qui est là pour nous aider. Hi Sarah!
Hi, Paul. I'm super happy to be back teaching you some advanced level English this time. Surely by now, all of the episodes will be fully in English with no need for French, right?
No. Even though this is the advanced season, on aura quand même un peu besoin de français. Donc voici ce qu'on va faire. Comme d'habitude, l'introduction et la conclusion de chaque épisode seront en français. Par contre, il n'y aura plus d'intervention en français de ma part. Mais pour vous aider avec le vocabulaire un peu plus avancé, au début de chaque épisode, on fera un glossaire des mots qu'on utilisera. Comme ça, vous êtes mieux préparés pour tout comprendre. Let's do this! Épisode 1, How to tell a story. Bienvenue dans cet épisode sur le storytelling. Il n'y a pas vraiment un mot français pour storytelling. Il y a le mot narration, mais c'est pas exactement la même chose. Il faut dire storytelling, mais avec un accent français. Du storytelling, quoi. Anyway, dans cet épisode, on apprendra pourquoi les gens racontent des histoires, les éléments nécessaires pour raconter une bonne histoire, et on verra la différence entre une histoire bien racontée et mal racontée. Let's do this! Et comme pour tous les épisodes de cette saison, avant de commencer, voici la liste de vocabulaire advanced que vous allez entendre. Audience, public. Hook, un crochet ou l'accroche d'une histoire. To ramble on, radoter, parler sans arrêter de quelque chose qui n'est pas forcément intéressant. Going on a tangent, faire une digression. Relatable, à quoi on peut s'identifier. Let's start off, commençons. Slightly, légèrement. Sales department, le pôle des ventes dans une entreprise.
All right, class, let's get started. Why do people tell stories? Why is this important? From the Harvard Business Review, telling stories is one of the most powerful means that leaders have to influence, teach, and inspire. What makes storytelling so effective for learning? For starters, storytelling forges connections among people and between people and ideas. Stories convey culture, history, and values that unite people. So, we love stories, whether it's true stories or made-up stories, stories in business, or stories just between friends having a drink. Storytelling has become really popular over the years, and even native English speakers are taking classes and reading articles about how to do it. It truly is an art, but we're going to teach you today at least the basic structural elements of a story and signposting language. So let's get straight into it with our pop quiz.
Yes, come on, pop quiz.
In school, maybe you remember the 5-point structure of a story. It looks like a mountain.
No.
It's also known as the dramatic arc.
No. I don't think English people learn that. I think we learn how to be socially awkward more than how to tell stories. I don't remember that, no.
Okay, well, this is the story structure you see in fictional stories, like in literature or film. I want you, Paul, to tell me, what are the 5 points? So it looks like a mountain.
Okay, it looks like a mountain. Does it go from like least important to most important? Is that... Oh, it goes up and then down. Mm-hmm. The 5 for me would have been beginning, middle, end, emotion, and twist.
Okay, well, you're wrong, but you failed the quiz today, but you're
I
not.
always fail the quiz.
You're not off. You have some good ideas. Okay, so the 5 points are exposition, rising action, that's going up, climax, that's the peak, falling action, resolution.
Are we talking about sex or storytelling here?
Both, maybe. So, Paul, you didn't answer my question, but you weren't exactly wrong talking about stories having a beginning, middle, and end, because they do. We could say the exposition is the beginning of the story. Think about Star Wars, for example.
Okay.
Okay, so exposition, it's where we're meeting the characters, we're learning about them. Then we have the rising action. Rising action is where tension builds and the story progresses. The hero sets off on their journey. So like Luke Skywalker sets off on his Jedi journey. And that's where we encounter all these different challenges along the way, et cetera, et cetera. Then the climax is the peak action. We could say that the battle he has with Darth Vader, that's like the climax, and where Darth Vader reveals that he's Luke's father, that's like the peak of the story. Like the drama doesn't get any more intense than there. And then the falling action is like everything starts to unravel. We're not sure if the hero's going to win or lose. So then we come to the resolution, which is the end of the story. So in Star Wars, the end of the third film, the Ewok planet's been saved, Leia and Han Solo are together, the Force has been restored, the Empire is safe, and we're all feeling really good and celebrating. So you weren't wrong, totally.
Well, unless you make French films, in which case there is no end. Like a lot of French films, French dramatic films, are very, there's no beginning, middle, or end. It's just the whole film is the middle. And it's very like, it's left up to the audience at the end to be like, well, what happens? Well, life just carried on. And we don't know, like you make up your own story, which is why for English speakers, sometimes we watch French films and we're really frustrated that there's no end. It's like, well, where was the end? You can't just finish on that.